As someone who has spoken quite fondly, quite positively about Mint Mobile over the last few years, I am a Mint Mobile subscriber. I have some unfortunate news to bring to you, in particular if you are a Mint Mobile user. Typically, I don't talk about these sorts of things, but since I've kind of pushed Mint Mobile over the years, I feel like it's probably a good thing for me to bring up. Mint Mobile has confirmed that there was a recent data breach that compromised user info. We are reading from an article on Android Police. I'll drop the full article link in the description down below if you want to check that out for yourself. But let's kind of dive into what we're talking about here. So we have an email here that one Mint Mobile user was sent, someone whose account was in this sort of breach. They were sent this email. We're going to take a look at this real quick. An update on your account. Now, before I read this, I want to point out that if you're a Mint Mobile subscriber and you did not get this email, you were not affected, apparently. Only people that were affected by this data breach apparently received this email. So we're writing to inform you about a security incident we recently identified, which an unauthorized actor obtained some limited types of customer information. And unfortunately for this person, their account was impacted. So they kind of start off by reminding everyone that they do not collect things like date of birth, social security number, driver's license number. So none of that stuff got breached because they don't have it. So they couldn't possibly have lost that information because they don't have it in the first place. They say they protect passwords with strong cryptographic technology and do not store credit card numbers. So no passwords and no credit card numbers were compromised either. So what was compromised? Well, name, telephone number, address, SIM serial number, and IMEI number, which is a device identifier, and a brief description of the service plan purchased. Okay, so that's not great. Your name, your address, email address, your SIM and serial number, though, are probably potentially the scariest one, because what someone could use that for is to basically intercept text messages and things like this. So they could then potentially go to like your banking application, your credit card application. They could sign in, and if you have two-factor authentication turned on, they could intercept that two-factor text message and be logged into your banking institution. That's a pretty bad thing. Now, it's important to remember a couple things at this point. First thing is, so far, we haven't seen any indication that any of these sort of SIM swap attacks have occurred, so that's a good thing. Another big thing, which you have to remember, which is not necessarily like a good thing, but it's definitely important to remember. Mint Mobile, yes, they did have this breach of security, and that's a problem, but T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, they all were breached this year as well. So 2023, everyone's gotten breached. So you shouldn't necessarily look at this as Mint being in some way worse than the others. They've all been breached. This is just an unfortunate fact of life. This sort of thing is just going to happen. Now, they do also say that at this point, there's nothing that if you were in this breach, there's nothing that you actually need to do. They've apparently taken care of it, and they're kind of moving forward. They've apparently fixed whatever vulnerability that there was there, and you don't have to do anything. There is a phone number at the bottom here that I will put in the description that you can call if you have any follow-up questions about this breach. But like I said, there's apparently nothing further that you need to do from here. Other than, of course, if you use your phone line as the two-factor authentication for something important, maybe don't do that. Maybe find another two-factor authentication. Maybe use something like Google Authenticator or something different other than your phone number. I think that would be the biggest and probably only thing that I would suggest you do. It's unfortunate. It's a bummer. You hate to see this kind of thing happen, but like I said, it does happen all the time. Check your emails and see if you were part of this breach. And I don't know what else I can tell you. There's not really any advice I can offer because there's nothing you can really do to prevent this sort of thing other than just not having a cell phone, I guess. Like I said, unfortunate news. I'll drop a link to this article from Android Police in the description down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.